Good afternoon, y'all. David Atkins, target individual. Today I'm going to be talking about um, forced speech. Certain target individuals find themselves saying stuff and wondering why they said it, or don't even remember they said it. Matter of fact, they'll be like, somebody will say, "You said this." I said that. When? And they'll force you to speech, or you're saying it, but you're forced to say it, and people can think I'm crazy or whatever. But they have the technology to do this. And also, somebody sent me some information. They're having a meeting at the house, and they're calling whistleblowers on this meeting, talking about how the FBI's been weaponized. And I can't promise to get you that link, but I'm going to try. And I'm just going to do a reading real quick and get into the thing. And tomorrow, I'm going to make it my thing to concentrate on how to copy and paste my last 5 videos. Copy and paste that information into the description so you can read it. You can watch the video and read it in the description. And anyway, I encourage y'all to hit the like button, if you like my videos, because it helps people. And I'm trying to get new targets as well as old targets information and stuff, give them hope. I get burned alive in this house all the time, most of the time. Today they're just, again, hitting my legs. Yesterday was pretty rough, but not too bad. But that one day when I made a video, it was horrible. I mean, that was the worst day I've had in the whole 11 years of being targeted. I couldn't even get out of bed. Okay, so anyway, I'm coming from First John, and this is just for my believers. And like I tell y'all every time, I'm open-minded. If y'all don't believe in God, I respect you just like I respect a believer, and I love you just like I love a believer. I don't think, I don't judge. I have my path. I don't push my path on nobody. Okay, so anyway, First John 2 verses 15 through 17. Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world is the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world is passing away in the lust of it, but he who does the will of God abides forever. And real quick, yeah, they're interviewing like a dozen whistleblowers. And ask Congresses, and they're going to ask them what they said, what they whistleblowed about, and what they experienced after they whistleblowed it. And I listened to some of it. I haven't got a chance to listen to all of it, but it's very interesting stuff going on. And I can't promise to get you that link, but I'm going to try because I'm pretty sure that link was on Facebook, and it's hard to get that. I haven't figured out when somebody shares a video up, share it on Facebook, how to make the link shareable on YouTube or anywhere else for people who don't have a Facebook account, because a lot of people don't have a Facebook account. I don't blame them. Okay, anyway, understanding the memory attacks, blocking your real memories and injecting false memories and motivational impulses are key, because if you do not recognize modification of your active memory, the system will cause you to briefly lose time perception, which may be enough procedural functional disorientation to influence you to respond to an injected impulse or memory attack. It is possible for the remote neural monitoring system to influence you to speak unwillingly or at the very worst without you knowing it. For example, if you're susceptible to the system's influences, you may not realize that it is frequently or constantly influencing you to make minor choices. These motivational impulses can be used to influence you in a manner that will give you the desire to speak. And I emphasize desire, because you need to understand that their impulses will only make you feel the urge at higher levels set by the attackers, or basic motivation at baseline levels to perform the task it's influencing you to do. Now, in combination with this motivation to speak, this system uses past memory references to direct you. For example, your personal memory of turning to speak to your wife and the associated impulse when you react to this influence. The system will block your memory while streaming the desired output, which will result in you making one or more statements under the system's control. A lot of statements you will probably regret. They will test this on you frequently with word substitution, and if you can learn to control this in thought, then you can control it while speaking, but you must learn to read active memory, which is hard to do, easier said than done. If you cannot recognize modification of your active memory, then after the forced speech attack, it's possible that you will have no recollection of making that statement. It's happened to me before. As a matter of fact, it happened to me a couple of times over the past 3 months. As you learn to defeat the predictive capabilities of the system by reading active memory, testing and validating your own thoughts, you will see their attempts to restrict and your reference choices will become increasingly evident, and you will begin to perceive what I will describe as functional duality. It might also be described as focal duality within your working memory. The PERC system prediction error rate will dramatically increase, and its attempt to predict your thoughts or intentions will become humorous, if not simply annoying. And I would tell y'all what they made me say, and who they made me say it to and all this, but I don't want to give any perps leverage, But it was quite shocking to me after it happened. Okay, let me read this. I'm throwing y'all off. The PERC system prediction error rate will dramatically increase, and its attempts to predict your thoughts or intentions will become humorous, if not simply annoying. Seeing the relationship between your own previous memory references and the system output, which can be a specific memory or emotion previously captured by the remote neural monitor system and now replayed perpetually in your mind, is critical to understanding how to control and ultimately defeat thought-triggered attacks, in addition to preventing the attackers from deceiving and manipulating you. And I'm going to read it again one time, real slow. Seeing the relationship between your own previous memory references and the system output, and this is in parentheses, which can be a specific memory or emotion previously captured by the remote neural monitor system and now replayed perpetually in your mind, is critical to understanding how to control and ultimately defeat thought-triggered attacks, in addition to preventing the attackers from deceiving and manipulating you. You should be able to redirect the system during formulation, collecting data by reading your mind, or the system during formulation. Formulation is collecting data by reading your mind, or prevent predictive integration, interpretation of data from injected thoughts and impulses, all together. But when you learn to stop integration, realize that the system will be waiting for completion and will probe for you a response. It will begin to inject again if you attempt to ignore it. If successful, you will notice that they will also abuse you in every way possible to convince you that they're in control, when you will be able to see clearly they are nothing more than idiots who need to spend more time studying the systems they are abusing people with. If the system's suggestions are not acceptable to you, then they won't be. If you're consistently blocking or redirecting it, then this will result in you making a continuous effort to counter the imposition of thoughts and impulses while contrasting your working state to maintain active focus. Although by cooperating and allowing the system to interpret and define your daily activity, you may find the suggestions become more tolerable, as the system is designed to mimic your normal cognitive behavior. I would recommend not allowing this, as you will tend to more readily accept the system's influence, and the purpose of the system influencing you in this manner is to give the attackers the ability to restrict you at will and to allow them to deceive or manipulate you subconsciously. You can only counter these restrictions if you're able to contrast the system's influence from your own willful activity. Everyone who is hearing V2K is being monitored in this manner and being influenced in this manner and in this way as well. The phrases you are hearing should be related to the information captured during the silent monitoring period and will eventually be used as the foundation for your endless verbal harassment. What they do is a game of deception, manipulation, nothing more. Do not accept anything they say as truth, and do not acknowledge anything the system interrogates you about as truth. The system will take random bits of anything it captures through your senses and fabricate stories which they will use to harass and interrogate you, with no intention other than to distract and torture you into submission and to the system's influence. There you have it. All right, so let's see. I'll probably do another video on Monday. However, I'll probably do a short video or something to check in with y'all, like I always do, with a good word of encouragement. Or, if I hear some news, what's going on around the TI community, let y'all know. But yeah, hit the like button for me. Um, I'm not doing that for popularity. I'm doing that to get this word out, this exposure of this horrific program, non-consensual experimentation going on targeted individuals like myself and others. And, you know, it's nuts what we're going through. It's not fair, but life's not fair. And uh, I hope something's done about it. Um, but if not, I'm going to keep continuing the faith and I refuse to give up. So anyway, God bless all y'all. And I was trying to think of what I was going to say something else about. Oh yeah, I'm asking this question again. I asked it in the video the other day. My shielders out there, the ones, I know shielding works sometimes. I don't care. To me, it'd be better to have a lead apron, um, uh, mylar blankets, different types of shielding because anytime you shield, they can change the frequency. They can beat any kind of shielding you build. I don't care what anybody says. They can beat it, even if it's a grounded. There's some stuff that's really, really effective, but eventually they can beat it. And so I'm wanting to know. I was thinking the other day when they were hitting my heart, and I'm gonna say it again, and I want some interaction on this, please. The ones that know about shielding. Okay, if they're communicating with me via my brain fingerprint, which they are, then wouldn't it make sense not to cover my heart when they're hitting my heart, or my stomach when they're hitting my stomach, or my legs when they're hitting my legs? Wouldn't you want to just shield your head? Because that's going to block, I don't know. That's what I was thinking, and correct me if I'm wrong. Why guard your heart if they're targeting your brain and your cerebral cortex, which allows them to hit anything part of your body that they want? If they're doing that, why would you block when the signal's not coming from your heart or they're not directly hitting your heart, which they can. There's weapons that they can point at your heart and do that, yes. But I'm convinced they have either I'm chipped or, and I'm pretty sure I am. I did a 45 stay in a hospital, University Hospital last year. And they done all kinds of tests, went in my spine twice for 30 minutes at a time. They drew blood. They stuck needles in my arm. I had 4 IVs when I woke up. 4 IVs. I had one here, 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 and here. And they kept them IVs in for a long time. They drew 4 vials of blood every day for the first 3 weeks. I had a catheter in from September 9th to October 15th. My bladder had shut down. Yeah, they hit me with a big direct energy weapon attack. I'm convinced at the Denver airport. And they said it was traverse myelitis, which is an infection of the spine and a very serious vitamin B12 deficiency. And they said it was some other neurological disorder, but being that I had some fragments in my eyes, they couldn't do an MRI to determine what the other cause was. And but I'm sure while I was in the hospital 45 days, they put something in me. So maybe it's that are doing it, but I'm convinced it's the brain fingerprint because they don't even need chips no more. I mean, there's plenty of people chip, and I'm sure they still do it, but they don't need them no more. So that's what I just came to my mind. Like, why would you guard anything but your brain if they're targeting your brain fingerprint and burning you via brain fingerprint? So I just want to know if anybody has experienced anything with that, and if I'm right, if I'm on track there. Because as far as shielding, I've tried everything, so I'm confused as far as shielding. I've tried everything almost. Nothing. I mean, something will work for a while, but then I'll figure out a way around it. But anyway, I'm rambling. God bless y'all. Y'all have a good day and enjoy y'all's weekend the best you can from what you're going through.